What's up guys, welcome to the video today. Thank you so much for clicking on it. I want to start off by saying that over the weekend I hit 2,000 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, hit that button, subscribe to the channel. It is so awesome to hit 2,000. I love that this channel is growing and that you guys are enjoying the video. So thank you everybody for watching them, liking them, subscribing. It's so awesome. I just finished my morning strength session. If you're new around here, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a morning strength session. This week is what was called the deload week, which means we don't go as hard or as heavy. Basically, it's a recovery week for strength, essentially. And honestly, I really felt like I needed it this time around because basically every maybe 4 to 5 weeks, we change what workouts we do. And this last set of workouts on Tuesdays especially, they've actually been really tough, it's been good, don't get me wrong. I've definitely felt myself building strength, but it's just kind of nice to have it easy in the gym just a little bit. Even though I'm still gonna go somewhat hard on the bike this evening, I'm still really enjoying doing strength. I highly recommend it. A lot of cyclists don't do it. The program that I'm doing is meant to be done during your cycling season. It doesn't focus a lot of emphasis on building strength. It's more about maintaining and keeping a tight core. And then in the winter, we're gonna do some building, but I like that a lot because it allows me to still hit my heavy cycling workouts and not be just so tired from the strength session. So it's working out really well. And like I said, I highly recommend it. It really does benefit me, especially on the mountain bike. But overall, I feel like a much more healthy, functional person because of it. So yeah, I think I've rambled on enough for this morning. So I'm gonna have to get ready. And now I gotta go to work. I'm gonna run the power dot, do a little bit of recovery while I'm at work. It's just gonna be an overall great day. The workday is finished for now and I am at the bike shop because I am finally getting a new power meter for my Madone. I bought a Stages crank arm in 2016 when I first got my Amanda. It was for Ultegra 6800. I moved it over to my Ultegra R8000. It works just fine. It's just a crank arm. So I've been using that with the Madone since I got it, but I had ordered a new Quark power meter. Now apparently I hit Quark at an odd time where the one that I ordered is now basically out of production now, and so I had to get a different one, so there was a little bit of a delay with that. So the new Quark power meter is here. It's one of the D0 power meters, and I'm gonna have to swap out the bottom bracket on the Trek because Trek bottom brackets are BB90s and I need a GXP bottom bracket, so Trek makes a kit for me to do that. So today I will be putting in the new bottom bracket and the Quark power meter and moving my chain rings over from the Ultegra group set that it came with, and I'll be using Quark on my road bike now. I'm really excited. I feel like it's kind of like a nice upgrade. Nothing against Stages or just left arm power, but I feel like a Quark is probably a more sophisticated power meter, and it's like, hey, look at me, I'm growing and training and becoming a real, training athlete. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna head inside and start this process now. Sometimes it's really hard for me to record in the bike shop. It's just because people talk to me while I'm doing stuff. Sometimes I help out customers while I'm in there, and I get basically pulled in all kinds of directions. I get distracted. I have to look up to figure out issues that I'm having with the install. So I usually just typically stick to a time-lapse kind of format for these. Alright guys, since it was so hard to record in the shop today, I just want to do a quick rundown of the Quark power meter install. So I ordered the Quarq DFour Dub Power Meter, that's the spindle there, and it is designed to work with Shimano chainrings. So I also ordered SRAM red crank arms. Now usually what you do is you order the Quark crank arms, but they didn't have those, they only had the SRAM red, and they're the exact same thing, so I didn't care. So it's a pretty basic process. The first thing you need to do is take your old crank off with Shimano. I'm running Shimano Ultegra R8000. So you take the non-drive side crank arm off, and then you take the drive side off, you pull it out, you take easy care with the chain not to scratch up your bike frame, and then you're going to unscrew the chain rings from that, and obviously you're going to screw those onto the new power meter, since like I said, it's designed to work with the Shimano chain rings. We then screwed them on. I used Loctite on these screws, and I highly recommend to use Loctite on your chainring screws. And then you use the provided torque screws and tool that actually comes with the power meter. So that's pretty cool. So, and the tool is actually torqued to the correct setting to torque those on. Once you have the chain rings on, you're ready to just reinstall your crank arm onto your bike. But there was kind of a trick, because on a Trek you have a bottom bracket that's a BB90, but you actually need a GXP bottom bracket to work with the Quark Power Meter. So Trek actually makes a bottom bracket kit to make this happen. So you get that kit, there's a picture of it, and it essentially, the non-drive side is just slightly different. And so you only have to press out one of your bearings if you're just replacing what you have there and it's new like it is on this bike. It changes one side to have kind of like a little cup for the spindle to fit in. And then it's like a normal GXP bottom bracket at that point. So once you get that replaced, there's actually two spacers that go on the drive side. There's like a wavy washer and then a black washer. I discovered once I put it all back together, I couldn't torque it. I couldn't torque the crank to the proper torque spec, and it was because that spacer was putting too much space, the black spacer. So I pulled that out, and once I did that, things were not, they were way too tight before. They were torqued to the correct spec at that point, and everything was good. Now, as you can see, the chain rings don't exactly match up to the Quark. The Quarq DFour Power Meter was actually designed to work and look with the Dura-Ace chain rings, not the Ultegra chain rings. So that's why they look a little weird. And honestly, like, I was kind of bummed about it at first. I was like, man, I just made my brand new bike look all like pieced together. And but you know, like, after a couple days, I've just been kind of like, no, it looks fine. The whole reason I did this was to save money and not have to buy new chain rings, because my bike came with Ultegra chain rings. These chain rings are brand new, so I wanted to use them. And it said that aesthetically it matched the Dura-Ace rings. I thought they meant color, but I think it was a little bit more than color. But functionality wise, it all works, so no big deal. The install was super simple. Now, I did a test ride, and that's what you're seeing. The test ride, honestly, not a lot to report. I was trying to decide if I could tell a difference in watts between the Quark and the stages, like if they read differently. But honestly, I really couldn't. I was actually kind of tired for this ride. Overall, I think it's very close. The crank itself spins really good. It auto calibrates, which was a kind of a big deal for me because I always hate to calibrate my device. So it's nice to have that. It has Bluetooth. You know, it's the battery is easy to replace. You know, I just wanted to get what was considered a better power meter by a lot of people. Though I never had any problems with my stages, I still highly, highly, highly recommend the stages. But I wanted to get something a little bit nicer and just see how it went. So that's why I have the Quark. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the Quark or the install, I will try to answer them for you. Just leave them down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.